Hello again, and today we've got another Rebel on Rebel matchup. So Blair will be flying the triple Dagger Squadron with heavy laser cannon and fire control systems, whilst Alan will be taking Chewbacca with Han Solo crew, C-3PO and Draw Their Fire, E.T. Bart with fire control systems, Push the Limit and R7T1, and a Bandit Squadron pilot. Should be an interesting game. Obviously just trying to see how Dagger Squadron heavy laser cannon ×3 goes against the Falcon with Chewbacca piloting it. So as per usual, all the ships have been set up and asteroids have been set up, and we're just getting into first manoeuvres. Sorry about the camera angle. The Falcon is there, it's just hiding off the top of the screen, but I assure you that once the action begins, all the ships will be visible. So just got the three B-wings just moving up, just a 3 straight, just to try and hopefully get into range for a range 3 shot next turn on whatever they can see. And here we have obviously Etan just making a 4 manoeuvre as well. And we'll have Chewie in the background there, just about to move up shortly as well. So yeah, just obviously wanting to try out this triple heavy laser cannon list. Heavy laser cannon, one of my favourite upgrades. Just trying to see if it does any good against Falcon. So there we go, jumping to the next set of manoeuvres. So obviously Bandit Squadron just flying in, unfortunately for Alan, just nicking the side of the asteroid there, so unfortunately that Bandit won't be shooting this turn. So just roll a die there, and manages to go without taking any damage on that one. And then I'll have the 3 B-wings doing their manoeuvres as well. So just a 2 bank coming in here from the middle B-wing, and he will take a target lock, I believe, or perhaps it's a focus at this point. So obviously once shooting begins, fire control systems will start throwing out some target locks for us. So we have the second B-wing performing a 3 bank. Haven't flown B-wings for a long time, and forget that the 3 bank is a hard manoeuvre for these guys, so something to be aware of obviously. And just a 1 bank for the third B-wing coming in behind the asteroid there, and obviously to avoid taking any damage next turn, just performing a barrel roll. Still probably will have arc on the Bandit Squadron, so should all 3 B-wings will have a shot this turn. So here we have Etan turning into the battle, and just performing a 2 bank, 3 bank maybe, and then Chewbacca flying up from behind. I'm just not quite sure what we were discussing at this point. I'm just trying to see what Alan's decision was with regards to. Oh yes, he was checking for range 2 to see if he could activate R7T1, but not quite within range to get the boost and the lock. So obviously just deciding what Etan is going to do. In the end, just deciding to take the target lock on the middle B-wing and pushing the limit for focus, I believe the decision was in the end. So yeah, just deciding which person to lock, obviously not within range of the B-wing without the focus, so just deciding to end up just locking the middle B-wing there, as we see. and then obviously Chewbacca will make his move finally, and just angling away a little bit from the combat, unfortunately for Chewie. Not quite getting into the fray of things just yet, so my line of B-Wings get pretty much a free go at the Etan and at the Bandit, should I manage to take out the Bandit in a couple of shots. So he will have Etan firing first, of course, at the middle B-Wing. He's just deciding how he's going to do things. Excuse me. So just picking up some attack dice there, and just going to roll for Etan. So just trying to decide whether he wants to spend any focus, and indeed does spend the focus. So at range 3, and obviously just changing Etan's hit to a crit for his own effect there, and indeed rolling 2 blanks. So 3 hits there from Etan on the B-Wing. So not ideal for me, but I do now get to return fire, obviously with initiative. So firing with heavy laser cannon with the B-Wing off to the side there. So scoring 3 hits on the Bandit Squadron, and just taking both the shields and damage for the Bandit. So not so good for the Bandit. We have the second B-Wing with heavy laser cannon without a focus, obviously, firing at the Bandit, and determined that the asteroid that the Bandit had parked on was in the way. So just landing 2 hits there. And obviously just adding with the target locks for the fire control systems for the previous B-Wing. Just deciding whether Bandit's going to live long enough to bother put the target locks on. So managing to evade both hits from the second B-Wing. So unfortunately the third B-Wing that still has a focus will have to spend his attack on the Bandit as well. So having the focus and spinning there, so 3 hits. So again through the asteroid, but having to roll 3 naked dodges and doesn't quite make it. So that will be the end of the Bandit. So not too bad for a round, removing a ship of his and losing a few hull of mine, and obviously having Chewie not attack was quite good. So and we are moving on to the next set of movers. So obviously I want to stay at range as much as possible. In this instance, and obviously none of my guys having fire control systems active because they all shot at the dead Bandit last turn. So we're just taking a focus and just trying to figure out who they shoot at once Etan and Chewbacca decide to move. So there we go, just all taking short maneuvers and all taking a focus in the process. And just shedding the stress there for the third B-Wing, and indeed taking a focus. So here we, and obviously Etan not even needing the target lock from the previous round, so obviously that middle B-Wing is still the primary target for for Etan at this point. So here we have Etan flying right in front of everyone, and trying to get out of arc of that third B-Wing, but and obviously doing a green maneuver, green bank, 2 banks rather than the 1 banks on the E-Wing are green, as with many of the Wave 4 ships. So obviously doing the 2 bank to shed the stress, just deciding whether or not he can barrel roll, but obviously if he does, he'll be out of arc of the B-Wing that he's got the target lock on. So in the end I think just decides to take a focus to go with his pre-existing target lock. Just some debate as to what ships he actually wants to shoot at and who's best to target there. And just saying, if he does use the R7T1 to boost and retarget lock, and does in fact in the end decide against it, so it just goes with the focus. So here we have Chewbacca, and once again, unfortunately for Alan, I do believe that he just nicking that asteroid, so rolling for damage, but as it seems to be managing to avoid damage, but again, obviously a real big problem for Chewie, not shooting this round, so still hasn't fired a shot in anger, Chewbacca. So obviously we'll have Etan firing first at the at the B-wing that has a target lock on it. So he just rolled four hits and or eyeballs on that one, which is not good for me. So obviously just missing that one, so taking the last two shields and taking a critical as well. And unfortunately the critical for my ship was reduced primary weapon, which was actually quite relevant because he's at range 1 of Etan. So here we have the first B-wing just deciding to obviously just triggering the fire control as well, but Etan there managing to evade two of the damage, so only taking one, and then we have the other B-wing that still the non-critical B-wing, so again rolling a lot of damage there, but again for Etan managing to roll 2 evades and only taking 1 damage, so soaking up quite a lot of hits this turn. Maybe I should have been shooting at Chewbacca, who knows. And here we have the critical affected B-wing just triggering the fire control system from the last attack. So just a 3 dice at range 1, and just scoring 3 hits, but again for some reason Etan managing to roll like a champion and avoiding all the damage, so only getting 2 damage on Etan from 11 dice this turn, so not so good for me. And indeed we're now into a position where my B-wings are going to struggle to get a lock or be able to shoot at the 2 opposing ships. So here we have one B-wing flying off into the distance in the complete wrong direction, and just taking focus. Obviously they've all got target locks on Etan at this point in the game, but obviously finding it hard to fly anywhere without getting in the way or getting stuck. So again, another ship flying away with the arcs in the wrong direction, and here we have the last remaining B-wing that will actually probably have a shot this turn. Let's see how he goes, obviously anticipating Etan and Chewbacca flying past him possibly, or depending on what Chewbacca decides to do, might be some good blocking maneuvers as well. So here we have Etan just deciding to do a 4K turn, just to get out of the way of where Chewie is planning on going. So he'll be stressed for the turn. And then, so he's a nice juicy target for the B-wing that has the fire control and focus on him. And here we have Chewbacca trying to get off of the asteroid, and just checking to see whether he's actually going to make it past the B-wing or not. Not sure if he did in the end, but judging from what's happening here, it looks like he didn't quite make it. So as it turns out, was some pretty good blocking there from the B-wing, just to aid deny action to Chewbacca, and just leave that off for the time being. But I do believe that he may have again parked on the asteroid, but once again manages to avoid taking any damage. So obviously not ideal in terms of Chewbacca not firing, but again managing to stave off the damage. So Etan will have to soak up a few more hits, and obviously with 2 of my 3 B-wings not having a shot, it's not as crucial this turn. So obviously we've got 1 B-wing heavily damaged, only 2 shields left, and obviously Etan having the fire control systems on him, so I'm deciding to shoot at the wounded B-wing and using the fire control systems there, and scoring some damage, obviously kicking over the critical effect, and just using the focus there to avoid taking any damage for the B-wing. So manages to survive for this turn. So here we have the 1 B-wing that can shoot, firing at Etan, and just preemptively accidentally using the focus early, but obviously just using the lock and the focus. And obviously the lock should stay, and I think we remember after the fact that it goes back on, but again Etan manages to only take the 1 damage, so 2 naked evades, so it's just down to his 2 hull, but managing to soak up an awful lot of damage before I can start attacking Chewie full on. So here we have 1 of the B-wings just deciding to just get in there and do a 2k, knowing that Etan will fly in front of him this turn most likely. Probably a mistake here for this particular B-wing. I probably should have gone for a 2k, but went with the went with the 1 forward for the time being. But anyway, so here we have the heavily damaged B-wing just trying to get back into the fight. Again, possibly could have been a good time to perform a K-turn to try and get back in the fight. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. And it's obviously taking his target lock with him from Etan. Etan there just performing, I think it was a 2 straight to shed the stress, and indeed just bumping into the B-wing there, so it's a good chance that that B-wing won't be shooting this turn. Here we have Chewie finally managing to get himself off that rock, and but I believe he might have just managed to squeak into the firing after that B-wing maybe. Now he did actually do a K-turn, as you can see there. So here we have Chewie firing at range 1 of the B-wing right in front of him, and obviously just rolling an awful lot of damage there, and 0 dodges, so I believe it was 4 hull damage. It was in fact 4 hull damage on that B-wing, so cutting his health in half, which is not ideal obviously. So just checking to see if Etan has arc on the damaged B-wing off in the distance there. So again, just managing to score two hits in a blank, and using the fire control systems to score 3 hits. So I needed to roll at least a dodge, but or at least 2 dodges. But sadly, it was not the case, and fortunately, that B-wing died. So didn't manage to get back in the fight. As I said, maybe if he'd done a K-turn, he might have been out of range. I guess we'll never know. So we're down to Etan and Chewy versus the two B-wings. It's not looking ideal for me, but we'll see how we go. So we've got one B-wing rolling 4 dice. Obviously just got the fire control system, so this is the far B-wing shooting at Etan. So we've got 3 hits, and finally we were victorious in scoring the 2 final damage on Etan, so managed to take him out. So we have 1 full health B-wing and 1 half health B-wing against a full health Chewbacca. So let's see how we go. So the B-wing here that obviously didn't actually have arc on Chewie that previous turn, which would have been useful at range 1, but as it is, just doing a K-turn there, and just going to have a shot on Chewie this turn. And then here we have the second B-wing just limping forward a 1 straight. Obviously shed the stress, but hopefully Chewie will either fly into him and bump, or fly into a position that will give him a range 1 shot. So here we have Chewie just doing a gentle 1 bank, and can't quite remember. Again, the old B-wings and Millennium Falcons don't tend to play nice, so unfortunately having to just take the model off there. And just bumping, I believe there, so no action for Chewbacca. And oh no, he must have just managed to squeak in there. So just target locking the damaged B-wing, obviously the most appropriate one to shoot at range 1. So took the target lock, rolled 3 blanks and an eyeball, I believe it was, or 3 blanks and a hit, and used the target lock as a lock, and ended up with 3 hits, and I believe that I managed to dodge 1, so just taking 2 damage, no crits thankfully at this stage. So I do have 4 shots in return. So we'll have the B-wing that doesn't have any additional weaponry, so just the 3 hits at this point. So obviously C-3PO starting to come into the game now. So I do believe that Alan named 0, so ended up taking 2 damage. And then obviously the other B-wing just firing and downgrading the 2 crits roll there. So again 3 hits. And just triggering the fire control systems obviously. But, so excuse me. Ellen rolling a blank there, so managing to get another couple of 3 hits there, another 2 hits in. So managing to strip all the shields off of Chewie, so we're sort of semi-evenly poised with regards to where we're going. Now obviously just doing a 1 bank again. Probably should have taken a maneuver that flew me towards Chewbacca. At this point, just trying to perform a green maneuver to get rid of the stress, and then trying to put some distance on Chewie so that any shots might be at range, to try and have the B-wing survive a bit longer. And here we have the second B-wing just managing to fly past Chewbacca. So again, neither of my ships not getting not getting an arc on Chewbacca this turn, so missed opportunities really building up with regards to dealing damage to Chewie. Normally heavy laser cannon squads are fairly good against the low agility ships, but obviously if you don't get an arc on them and they manage to just skirt around, then you're going to be taking a bit of damage without returning fire. So there we just have Chewie finally getting his ship back, and he just obviously doing a gentle one bank away and obviously we'll be taking a target lock, I believe, at this point on the damaged ship. So obviously with Han crew, it does make a bit of a difference sometimes. So spending the lock as a lock this time, and just managing to score a couple of hits, I believe, but unfortunately for my B-wing, rolling 2 blanks and dying in a big ball of flame. So we're down to a full health B-wing versus an 8 health Chewie. So potentially, if I'm lucky, I might be able to make a difference, but it's going to be an uphill battle. So obviously that asteroid just in the way there, so didn't manage to do a K-turn, so having to turn around towards the general direction of Chewbacca there. And here we have Alan just performing a 3K just to try and head straight back in towards the B-wing, trying to obviously close range, because that's where he gets the benefit. And as it turned out, both ships were out of range, so on to the next set of manoeuvres. So just flying in there with the two turn, and obviously with my fire control systems and focus, just trying to maximise the damage output. So here we have the B-wing jousting with the with the Falcon. So obviously this is where the real power of C-3PO can really hurt anyone in a one-on-one situation, and especially with obviously Chewbacca as the pilot, negating any critical effects. So there we have Alan rolling 2 damage and then re-roll, and my B-wing not dodging any of the damage, so taking 3 hits. It's really hard to keep up when you're taking this much damage. So here we have the B-wing just rolling 2 hits and then using the target lock, and obviously keeping the target lock, spending the focus. So Alan deciding to name 0 with C-3PO, so scoring 2 damage there. So not quite getting parity with regards to the amount of damage being dealt. Obviously fire control system and the heavy laser can make a bit of a difference, but it's really hard to try and score big when you've got Falcon versus the B-wing. So obviously fire control system is still there, just taking the focus. But Alan managing to outmaneuver me this turn, and certainly seems to be the nail in the coffin for the B-wing. So predicting that he would only make a short manoeuvre, I'm just done a gentle bank, and well flown from Alan. He flew the Falcon forward a very long distance, and still managing to stay range 1 of the B-wing. Sorry, range 2 it was. So indeed landing 3 hits, and I believe that was an eyeball, so spending the focus must have only been 2 hits, sorry, but indeed this turn didn't manage to have a shot on the Falcon, so he managed to squeeze some damage in whilst they couldn't return fire. So we've got only three hit points left on the B-wing, so all or nothing here, so flying right into to range 1 of the Falcon. with the fire control systems obviously in the focus. So here we have Chewie just doing a one hard turn, trying to stay within range 1 if possible, but obviously not getting into range 3 where the heavy laser cannon does its work. So just checking, excuse me, I'll just check range shortly, and there you can see, I believe, just see how many dice that Alan rolls, but I believe it was possibly range 1. No, it seems to be just managing to squeak into range 2. But, then we have target lock, re-rolling, and spinning the lock. And unfortunately for the B-wing, not rolling any dodges, and just 3 straight up damage to the B-wing, including a critical, which as it turned out was the small hull breach, and dealing another damage as well. So there we have it, the end of the 3 B-wings. So Eitan Abarth managed to keep, I suppose, the B-wings busy for long enough so that Chewie could finally stop crashing into asteroids and shoot back. And as it turns out, possibly should have been shooting at Chewie earlier, but obviously him not shooting, thought it might be a good idea to just try and take out Eitan, but obviously taking out Chewie should have been the right goal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.